Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday, which means that it's a live Tuesday show. And we are going to make some cards while we chat today because I have to get them done for 16 extra kids that are that live in Africa. But we have a team that is going over and taking extra cards to them. Hi, from the UK. So who's the furthest and who's the closest? Sorry, my voice is raspy. I am done traveling, finally. I'm so excited. So the cards that I'm making, this is not a very detailed one. I will try to finish one that is kind of detailed with you guys. Canada, California, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Massachusetts, Ohio, FT, don't know where that is. So I made cards like this. Oh, I posted a picture on Instagram a while ago and you guys all wanted to know how I made them. These are like leftover ones that kind of got scraps put on them. So they actually look a lot cooler when you finish them, but they are, they're super easy. All I use is design space, and a bunch of construction paper and the Cricut pens. I think that's all I use. Yep, that's all I use. So this is just like regular paper that you get at Michael's. I buy it at Joann's. When these papers go on sale, 5 for $10 is when I pick these up, and I get them in as many colors as I can to just keep my paper stack up, and that helps when we do crafts for our kids in Africa. Good morning. Good morning. So I am not drinking coffee today. I'm drinking Cricut. I don't know how to say it. That's how I say it. But I think my voice would probably be better if I drank coffee because it has the almond milk in it and it would soothe it. But anyways, I know a lot of people think this stuff tastes like hairspray, which maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm just kind of in denial because anytime I can drink something that doesn't have any calories or any artificial sweeteners or anything like that, then I'm like, if it doesn't taste horrible, then I'll drink it. But I added the Mio electrolyte stuff into it to make it taste better, and it does work, except when the Mio gets on the rim, it's like super flavorful. So like drinking it, I have to make sure it gets out of there because it's very concentrated. California, it's off topic, but using vinyl, what's the best transfer tape? Cricut transfer tape is harsh, letting go. Yes, so we have some big announcements coming soon, and I'll let you in on it. We are going to be, hopefully there'll be transfer tape. The transfer tape that's in our mystery box, you guys should be able to buy that actual mystery tape that is in the anti-tay box that I do. That transfer tape is amazing, and it should be available to buy that exact transfer tape pretty soon. So I'm going to get moving on the first step so then we can chat while the Cricut does its thing. I am using 3 different Cricut pens. I don't know if I've done very many pen projects with you guys. And I'm using 3 different colors because these are all going to 16 kids that I'm not sure exactly if they're boys or girls. Not that people in Africa really care about gender that much, like pinks and stuff like that. That's an American and first world thing. But it's always fun to tailor it to the kid. But I don't know the 16 kids that I'm making these for right now. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a piece of paper on my mat, and I'm going to let that's why I had like a crazy coughing fit last night. I was eating a salad and it had like this pepper on it, and I inhaled the pepper or something and I almost died. I felt like I was dying. And I do this kind of often. I'm wondering if I have a problem or if some people have this. I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes having like these extreme coughing fits because like, I don't know if I don't know how to swallow correctly or what, but I end up but it's like anaphylactic shock. I think I've never been in anaphylactic shock, and I'm like, all jokes aside, guys. So my voice is like shot today because I had a coughing fit yesterday. Hold on. I think I was going to do the black on the yellow. So I'm loading my pen into my thing. I'm going to do a tutorial on this card so that you guys can actually see like what I'm doing. Today's a Tuesday hangout, so I figured I would just talk. North Las Vegas, I might be dehydrated a little bit. And I drink a lot. What setting do you put it on? You don't have to change the setting when you do writing, right? Okay, so I'm just going to set it because it's already set to write. So I don't think I need to change the setting. Okay, I've learned so much from watching you. Love being one of your patrons. Yay, Caitlin. Yeah, I think I just told you guys about possibly having the transfer tape for sale through my actual blog pretty soon. If you're a patron, you will get free shipping on that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But there's going to be more announcements soon. I just got back yesterday. I'm surprisingly more exhausted today than I was yesterday. Yesterday was really good. We actually went and we met with the girls' homeschool teacher. So we signed our last paperwork that we need to do. We're going to go pick out their curriculum today. I'm really excited about that. Why is it taking forever to hook up to the machine even though it's USB today? So it wasn't connecting through, I think I've told you guys this, I have like 400 different laptops. Not really, I have like 2 different laptops, but then I have an iPad sometimes that I use. And then I have 3 different machines, I have 2 machines right now in the office, one at home and one a friend is using. But I have 2 machines, so they get all crosswired when I try to use Bluetooth. And a lot of the times I just have to use the USB. Right now I'm using USB and it's not wanting to connect. Let's try the other port. But I let it go and it tells me that now it's interrupted. So let's try it again. All right. So yeah, I might be dehydrated. I did spend the weekend in Las Vegas and it's so dry and hot there, but it's usually so dry and hot here, but it's colder here because we are covered in smoke, like covered in smoke. We have not seen the sun in Sacramento in like 2 weeks because we have so much smoke coverage where you don't go outside. Like yesterday, I took Hunter outside to give him a bath and I was like, we can't do this very long. We have to go back inside. So I am on, Ashley. I almost did not come on today. And you guys can update Deanna that Tearful Tuesday is in full-fledged. Today I am exhausted. I am like so exhausted. And the only thing that I love doing more than anything is going live with you guys. I love going live with you guys. So I was like, if I cry a little bit in this live video, not a big deal. But today I had to cry a lot. I just woke up and I was in such a bad mood. So many things are like piling on right all at once. And I just needed a good cry. So I made sure to get that good cry out before this video. But I was like, you know what? Satan, you won't get me today. I'm going live with my people on Tuesday because that's what I promised them. I promised them even if I was in a bad mood, I would go live. Yeah, so there's smoke everywhere. I just got back from the driest place on earth. Like it's literally hell on earth in Las Vegas. Sorry for the people from there. But I was like, why is this here? Like, I know, Peo, thank you. Is that how you say it, Peo? But I was like, you know what? I have to get these cards done. I have to do them right now. Like I literally have to do them. So my Cricut better start working. I'm gonna cancel this and restart it. If not, I'll do it after the live video. But I was like, you know what? I have to go live. I have to make these cards, do it together. I am emotionally drained, physically drained, sleep deprived. Smoke is everywhere. But I am going to go and do a live video with you guys today. The cards, I didn't finish that, huh? So thank goodness for Deanna. She kept us on track the whole time last week. And I tried not to be like myself. So I'm probably going to go like scatterbrained everywhere this week because I was like, stay on track with what we're talking about. So these are the end of the 150 cards we made for I think we made 135. So our church is partnered with Christ Hope International, and each church is supposed to partner with a specific spot. And I've been to Africa twice. So we we started with 35 kids. When my first trip, we had 35 kids. And then over the last 7 years, we've grown to 150 kids. And being partners with them, each child has a sponsor from our church. So we try to get together at least every 3 months. And I kind of head this craft up every time, and we make a craft for the kids. And then if a team goes, which a team is going on Wednesday, we send the crafts with them. So these were cards we made, and we did not send them. I'm guessing. I honestly don't know why these are going. I think we gained 16 more kids, and we wanted to send them something because we just did. And so I haven't met these 16 kids, but they are new to the program. So by us partnering with them, they are able to have medication if they need it, no matter what they're dealing with, but they are all children affected or infected by HIV or AIDS. And that means that they've either lost a parent, have lost both parents, or are losing parents. So the program helps them stay with family members. It helps them stay in school. So it pays for all of their school supplies, their school uniform, because a lot of children in Africa don't go to school because they have to have a uniform to go. And then you have to pay for it's like everything is private school. They don't have public school there. So if you can't afford your desk for the year and your uniform for the year and new shoes, then you probably can't go to school. So having these kids in our program, our church alone has 100 and now 60 kids, I think, because these 16 are extra. So around 160 kids. And so when I go to Africa, a lot of the times that's what we're doing. I'm spending time with those kids and just kind of tapping into what Christ Hope does over there and getting to know what they do. They have done an array of things in Africa, but they're starting to hone in on just working with the children, which kind of makes my job a little bit easier with the Africa Project, letting you guys know that this is exactly what the money goes to. So if you guys don't know what the Africa Project is, I launched a video a few months ago. I'm going to launch another updated video on how far we are on the Africa Project. But our goal is to get 2,000 people to join this project, which would create we're kind of trying to figure out another way to break it down, how impactful it actually is. If we were to have 2,000 people join for $5 a month for the Africa Project patron, which I'll put a link in the description. I'm trying to stay on track, but all at the same time, everything is in my brain. Those kids would be able to go to school. It'd be 50 new kids every single month, which over a year span, we'd be able to add on 50 times 50 times 12 months would be 600 new kids a month. Or a year. Let me do a calculator right now because my brain is not there. It'd be 50 kids a month times 12, which is 600. 600 new kids every year. And those 600 kids would be able to get medical attention, schooling, and nutrition. So they would have a livelihood. So that is just a project that I'm doing. Christ Hope, their own, has been able to help many, 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 many more children. So that's the part that I'm trying to play in this with the Africa Project, is get that going. So it's patreon.com, the Africa Project. If you want to check it out, it's $5 a month. And it also goes towards, all of that money goes right to Christ Hope International and helping them launch these new care points and all that stuff. None of it goes towards me or anything. I don't take a cut at all. Patron takes a cut, but that's the only people who take cuts. I'd love to work with a program that helps children in need. So if you're interested in the program, I'll be talking about a new ministry that I'll be hopefully partnering with soon too, that works with African adults and children, but in a different way. So I will share that once that ministry, it's actually starting to be launched. I just did the logo for it. Literally just finished it, and I actually have to revise it this morning. But it's a new ministry that's going. So it's actually it's a different branch, but it's a branch that I've kind of worked with in Africa, and my heart is very into as well. So this is for the Africa project that we're already working on, all for the kids, all for them to get nutrition and kind of change the future for them and their whole story. So how does someone go about finding churches that have this program? So the organization is Christ Hope International, and their job is to partner with churches. So not all churches are partnered with this program, but what they would need to do, if you go to a church and they're interested in this program, they would need to reach out to Christ Hope International, and they would need to create a partnership. So we created this partnership, our church, with this organization back in 2009-10 area. And I went to Africa in 2010. And it was kind of a trip to see what they did. And I also went again last year. And the leaps and bounds they have made in Africa and their organization altogether has been amazing. It was night and day, just the amount that the children have changed. So I'll share one story of a little girl named Juliana specifically. She's not one of my children, but when we went in 2010, she was 3. And at the time, our 35 kids were all under the age of 9. So Juliana was one of the littlest of the littles, and she was absolutely adorable. Next time I talk about this, I should probably print pictures so I could show you guys what I'm actually talking about. So we got prayer requests from their organization over there, and they would let us know, like, these are the kids who are struggling and we really need prayer for them. And Juliana was actually going to be taken out of our 35 kids, and we were going to get another kid because they anticipated that she was going to pass away. She was just not doing well at all. And that's a reality over there. And so they just thought, let's move her out of the system and we'll take care of her. And so we were praying for this little girl, and we were never told if she was going to be back in the system or what was going to happen. And we actually weren't told that she wasn't going to make it. We were just told to pray for her, and she was dealing with a lot of stuff. So praying for Juliana, and then we get there and we weren't told. We were just, because we were praying for a lot of the other kids, and my team leader actually had Juliana's picture on her wall, and she had been praying for her, and she likes to keep their pictures on the wall so she can remember their stories. And we got there and we're playing with all the kids, and this little girl is sitting, and she's very shy, which most of them are very shy at the beginning. And then by the end, they're just like crawling all over you, playing with your hair. It's amazing. But she would not crack a smile the whole time. She did not want anything to do with us. And then Laura pulls out these little puppets and starts sitting down next to her. And by the end of it, this little girl is sitting on Laura's lap, and they're playing puppets. And she's not only 3, but she's the tiniest of the 3, tiny, 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 as well as Esther. She was the same age at the same time, 3. But if you guys don't know who Esther is, that's one of my sponsored children that I'm very connected to. But Juliana and her are the same age. And it clicked for Laura. She was like, she realized that she was wearing the same shirt that she's been looking at and praying for her in her office for the last year. And she goes, I recognize this shirt. And then she realizes, is this the little girl that we've been praying for, that we were told is going to be taken out of this program? And we were then told, yes, and she was going to be taken out of the program because we thought she was going to pass away. However, because she has medical attention and because she has nutrition and all of the things that Christ Hope was able to give her, she made a circle, like a complete 180. And she was back to health, and they forgot to tell us, like, she's good now. But she was in there. So fast forward to 7 years later. So that was my first trip. Met Juliana and Esther and all the littles. That was when we had 35 kids. Fast forward 7 years, we have 150 kids now, 60, including these 16, whatever. So we have about 150 kids, and we're going over there. We are getting to meet. So the 35 grew to a full 50. So then that was an extra amount of kids. And then we have a whole new care point that has all these little kids that they just brought in, brand new little kids. So adorable. And so we we get to go to the care point that we went to 7 years ago, and I go, and I don't know why this always happens, and it happens with me all the time because I used to work at a gym, and so I see kids that I think are the kids that I used to watch like 15 years ago, and then I realized, no, that kid's probably in college now, so that can't be that little kid. So I don't know why I was thinking like 7 years has gone by. These kids are going to be much bigger now, and so these kids are huge, and it's amazing to be able to see that they're growing and they're thriving and they're doing all these amazing things because they have nutrition and medical taken care of, and they're going to school, so they're getting so many attributes that they would not be able to have. Mind you, all of these kids are infected or affected by HIV, so that means that their families probably would never be able to send them to these places because they're dealing with health issues all the time. And most of them have lost at least one parent. And so, which you would never know because they're the most positive, amazing little children that you'll ever meet. Yay, you didn't miss the live. So with that, Juliana, I got to see her last year, and she's still little because she's just a little girl. Like, she's not as big as you would think. She's 13, and that doesn't make sense. So she probably wasn't 3 then when we first met her. She looked like a 3-year-old. She's 13 now, 7 years ago. I'm really pushing it with the math today. But Esther was 3, and they were the same size. So maybe she was about 5, and she was the size of a 3-year-old because she was so malnourished at the time. So I'm excited to see how you use the Cricut pens because that is something I'm not familiar with at all. Yes, I want to do an actual video on this, and I probably will film this if it doesn't work out after this because for some reason my USB is not wanting to connect at all. So let me try at least one page again and see if it'll connect with it. I don't know why it's being so weird. It has it, and it's telling me connection to your machine has been interrupted. If the interruption was unintended, check the USB Bluetooth connection and try again. If you need help, call customer service. And that's where we're not going to finish this project. So I'm going to prep some of the cards, and basically what I do is I write out all of the kids' names and have it cut a fun shape, and then I make these cards, and this is a no scissors project. So all you do is you take the piece of paper and fold it in half. You can use your scoring tool. If you have this, you can use this attachment. And I swear, if I have a coughing fit, I gotta go, guys, because I will die on you. And that will not be, because I have to get to water, like ASAP. I know, and this is why I'm like, is this normal? Because I have had coughing fits since I was a kid, and they're like, I know exactly when they're coming, and I know exactly how to deal with them. So I'm gonna put my scoring stylus in this, and I have to get to water ASAP. And if I can get to Listerine, it's even better because I will gargle Listerine, and it instantly kills my coughing fit. Or I should probably just keep cough drops. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does. So I'm going to change my styling. So if you guys know, this is my holy grail of all tools. I use this thing more than anything. And on one of my latest blog posts, I put all of my essentials that you would need for a Cricut. But this is my holy grail, and it has a scoring tool, so I love it. This is what that piece is for. Yes, this is scoring tool. So I'm going to show you guys what it is. I tested a pen on that paper. So let's make a bright card. Actually, I'm going to do orange because I'm going to show you guys how to make a sunset. We'll go from here. We're going to do this is a really fun process. So pretend like you cut out some animal shapes with your Cricut using Cricut Design Space. This is a Design Space giraffe. They have this in elephant. They have it in trees. And we did some with monkeys and all African animals. So I did a tree on most of them. There are some really cute pictures on Instagram of all of the cards. So what we're going to do is, since this is already 11 inches because it's 8.5 by 11, I'm going to measure to 6.5 inches. If you guys didn't know, this does this. A lot of people don't realize it does this. And I'm like, wait a second, open that up so you can make sure. And people are like, whoa, I never knew that. So make sure you know that it does this. And we are going to measure to 6.5 inches right here, right? This is very hard to do facing up. Okay, so it looks like a 9 because I'm upside down. So 6.5 inches. I'm just going to line that up, and you just press it against the bottom so you get a nice straight line. And then I'm just half of 11. You guys should have told me this is 5.5, not 6.5. I was like, that is not half of the page. So I'm going to line it to 5.5. Oh, you're ugly crying. I'm sorry. So I was ugly crying earlier, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make it to live, but I was like, nope, I'm going to just cry and let it out, and then I'm going to go live, and we're going to do that. Okay, so you might not be able to see it, but it scored it. Can you see that? There's a score line. I don't know if you can see that. See? Right there. Can you see that? All right. And you fold it. So you fold it on that score line. So now we have a card ready to go. This is like one of my favorite, easiest things to do. Now we're going to make a sunset on this, and this requires absolutely none craft skills. None. This is why I'm in charge of making sure you guys know you can be crafty. I'm also in charge of Marafiki Night because I have to get like 150 kids sponsors together to make a craft. And what's the number one thing people say is like, I can't make crafts. I'm not crafty. And I'm like, yes, you can. This is a sunset, and you're going to be able to make it. So one of the beautifulest things in Africa you will ever see, and it's only one of the beautifulest things. You'll see a lot of beautiful things in Africa if you ever go, is the sunsets on the Masai Mara with giraffes and animals walking around, or the Serengeti, or anywhere else that you go that you can see this. When the sun sets and there's trees and you see just the silhouette of the tree, and you can maybe see like one giraffe or a few giraffes, it's the most beautiful thing you'll ever see. And they have these amazing clouds that like let light come through, and it's just the most beautiful thing. And 7 years ago when I went, I was literally on a phone that had nothing. Like the camera quality was horrible. 1 year ago, I actually FaceTimed Dustin and was able to FaceTime during a sunset in Africa. It was amazing. It was beautiful. Okay, so if you can go, you should go. I have that, but I think mine just cuts what I'm, yeah, so you have to have the extra blades kit. If you got the mystery box that came with this and all the doodads, it came with an extra thing. So when you buy a replacement blade for yours, get the one that has a scoring tool as well. And then you'll have the scoring tool. The thing I like about the scoring tool is it doesn't get dull because it's not actually cutting paper. So you won't need to replace it. You can get it. I'll add it to the Amazon store and all that good stuff. So like I said, this is also Cricut Design Space Access, Cricut Access. But this is just a soccer ball. They love football there. They call it football, as well as every other country in the world calls it football, because we're the only ones who have our football, American football. So I kind of do this stuff on my channel, and I came to this vid because I wanted to get inspired. Yay, Crafts World. Check it out. I'm going to check it out. Okay, so I just bought the thing by itself, so I just need to get the new blade kit with it. This should at least come with a blade. It should never not come with a blade. And then the way you take it out is you just pull this little piece off. This is why I like the Cricut brands better than the Fiskars brand, because the Fiskars one, which I don't have. Look, guys, I cleaned my office before I left. I cleaned it, and it is so organized. And I use this little caddy to put like all of my staples. So like if I forget something on my video, it's right here. Yeah. So anyways, you take it out like that. If you use the Fiskars brand one, which I also like, it has just like a little notch you have to find and click it in and then do this, but it falls out a lot. And I actually lost the blade doing it because that happened. And so I already know I like the Cricut brand a lot more. This is my holy grail. So got the blade only. Yep. So yes, I think there was a mystery box where they just came with extra blades. So if you don't have that tool, you'll want that tool to add that blade to. Otherwise, the blade is kind of pointless. So my BFF is in Africa now. She called at lunchtime to talk about all the animals. Yay! That's amazing. I wish I was there too. There's a missionary there, a girl from the Netherlands that works with Christ Open International. And let me grab some papers to start this part of the project. And she actually married one of the Kenyans there, and they have this amazing, beautiful baby. And I was telling her all about YouTube, and I was like, if you were a vlogger, people would want to know everything you do. Like, we went out for the day with her. She's a nurse. And like, we had to stop to grab her dinner so she could go home and make it for her and her husband. And this was before she was pregnant. Yeah, because it was a year ago. Or maybe she was pregnant. She didn't tell us. But anyways, she like, just her lifestyle is so interesting. And I'm like, you're raising a child in Africa and you have the means to vlog. Like, why are you not doing this? We want to know. But I thought it would be cool. And she kind of thought about it. Okay, so I'm going to grab 4 different colors of paper, and I'm going to grab the orange here. And that's all we're going to need. We're not going to need scissors. We are going to need a glue stick, which I have right here. I was so proud of myself. I was like, oh, I got to get a glue stick. And then I was like, I put a glue stick. That one's dried up. So hopefully, okay, that one's good. Just a regular old glue stick. What day does your homeschool start? Technically, it starts Friday. We're going to kind of use the whole next week to kind of just ease ourselves into the schedule and figure out what we want to do. But we're going to be doing lots of fun stuff. So this one's already scored. I guess it was already a card, but it's nice. You can do a sunset this way, and all you have to do is one tear, or you can just tear this. So I'm going to tear this in half, and we're just going to make these strips. So now that this is the same width as this, I'm going to get all these pages down to the same width. This one has a score line already because I've already been making these cards. This one does not. So the messier, the better, because that's part of the art, okay? So what we're going to do is then we're just going to tear this into, let's see, what colors do I want it to go? I want it to fade like that. Actually, I want it to fade. When the sun sets, it's like brighter on the bottom, huh? So it's kind of like that. And then I also want the silhouettes of some mountains, and maybe we'll add some clouds. So you kind of layer them like this. And then, but I actually wanted them. So I'm going to rip the tops so that they are rugged. So they're just rugged like this. And then I'm going to layer them where I want them like this. And if you're doing mountains and stuff, it's really cool to do like unstraight lines, but I feel like it works for the sunset as well. So you can do this with just any bottom landscape, and it looks really cool. So I'm going to just rip them like this. And then, hi guys. And then they just go on here. And it might look funny, but I'm telling you, this is going to be awesome. And then you add the cutout tree and their name, and you add the little, I'll take the giraffe off the other card and show you how cool it is. So then all you do is, if you want to clean up the lines on the sides, you can, or at least on one of the sides. It kind of helps, but I'm just going to glue them down, and I'll show you that. My son starts kindergarten Monday. I've been so nervous. I'm totally freaking out about him getting lost. I remember that. Like, I totally remember that. I remember just being like, okay, I'm just sending my kid to this place where I'm not going to get to see them for 6 hours, and I'll be back, and hopefully somebody else is doing a good job with them. But no, I totally understand that. It's very hard to leave them when you're not used to that. And I feel like they're so cute and little at that age that it's even harder to be away from them. And then once they get a little bit older, you're like, I can't wait till school starts. I don't know why I'm homeschooling, but you know, I love my kids and I want the best for them. And right now, homeschooling for us is the best we can do. So I'm just going to do this and put it on there. And then you've got this rugged, ripped up, like, see, you don't have to be crafty for this. You do not. And then if you want to do even more layers, you can take some of the other papers and layer them back on, which I'm going to, because I like how the sun kind of has these little pieces that come out and pop out. So I'm just going to rip up a few little pieces and stick them in little spots like this, because I want it to look a little bit like, you know, sun rays, when you look at them when they're setting, is like a bunch of little speckles of like orange, yellows, and all that good stuff. Using purple glue, but it dries clear. That looks great. I feel like I'm in kindergarten. I'm like, see what I can do? But they really turn out cool when they're done. So I'm just going to rip them. And there were people doing so many cool things with this. And you can make like landscapes. You can make the sky, like anything. You can do anything, and it's really cool. It's really cool. So I want to homeschool so bad. I have a 3 and a 12-year-old. That would be a big drastic difference in age, but you could do it. And your 12-year-old would probably be a big help, honestly. John, I'm already married. Sorry. I love my husband. So, you know, that's not going to work out. Okay. So we've got this, whatever you want to call it. I like to say I made it up, but I know other people probably do this. And I actually think I'm going to do some on the sky as well, because you know how the sunset kind of is down here, but it reflects off the sky a little bit? I'm going to do a few up in the sky. Just a few. We are starting homeschool this year, and I'm freaking out. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of homeschool stuff on my channel, guys. I have already decided, because I'm like, we're going to have to be doing some projects, and there was something I wanted to do already. Well, setting up like their homeschool binders and, oh, Google Calendar. I wanted to show you guys how I'm using Google Calendar to fully like customize our homeschool plan and all that, because I'm obsessed with Google Calendar and it's been amazing. So I'm going to finish this part. Clear, sir. I read that. That's amazing. Love that. Overhead camera would be nice. I'm nosy. I know. I really need to just tap into whatever Ken and Sean use, but I need a camera person, like I really do, to come help me, because it's not my forte. I'm like, you know what I'm using today? I'm using my webcam. Honestly, I was like, webcam looks good. Let's do this. I'm already 10 minutes late for the live. So we got sky and bottom. The bottom. What is that part? The sun actually setting. Okay, I'm going to take this giraffe off. I wish he was another color. So you can cut him out of any color you want, but he is glued on here good. I'm actually going to just remake Jeffrey's card to show you guys. So pretend like we cut these out of 2 layers of paper and we glued them together with the Cricut, and then watch my video coming up soon on how to use pens, because now I got to film that because I really have been meaning to. So pretend like we wrote this on paper. I actually wrote like all of their names and put a shape around each name. So it wrote it and then it cut it. And then we just take our animal and put it on. Look at how much cooler it looks once the animal's on there, guys. Like, look at that. Isn't that awesome? Okay. So these are really cool and they're really fun. And so many people had fun with them. And I prepped a lot of it for them, but I saw them getting like so creative with it. It was getting crazy. Okay, and then I'm just going to take Jeffrey's name. How funny is that? It's Jeffrey and it's a giraffe. But they're not going to know. They're not going to know what that means. So, and neither will kids in 20 years, because Toys R Us is gone. Even though it's still there, like I don't miss it very much because it's still there where it always is. It's just empty. And I rarely ever go into it. So I'm like, I'm not really missing much. It's still sitting there with the name on it. Webcam operator should be a cool project for homeschool. Right. So there's like a fine line between like, am I making my kids work for me and am I teaching them stuff? Because I do want them to learn a lot of stuff. But for the most part, they're not interested in YouTube as much as like most kids are, because, and I get this like every other second, my kid wants a YouTube channel. My kid wants a YouTube channel. Every kid on earth wants a YouTube channel right now, because that's life. Everybody wants YouTube channels. So I'm going to put Jeffrey's name, like, I don't know, I might cut it down a little bit. I might rip it up a little bit because I'm not sure if I like the bubbles around it. But my kids see everything that goes into YouTube and they're not really into it that much. So, but I feel like if I were to break those parts down, they love the parts that they love and they don't like the parts that they don't like. So like, they really love live videos, but they don't like pre-recorded videos where I have to dress them up, or like my holiday DIYs, what is it? Halloween. Because, so I ripped up Jeffrey's name like that. So it kind of matches. They are like, really, again, we have to dress up in a costume. And then like all their friends are like, I want to dress up in a costume. So that's why you see a lot of extra kids during Halloween, because I'm like, I'm about to put like 100 costumes on my kids because they do not like it. So I try not to force them, but I feel like Landis would love that job. Do you think you will jump on the tumbler making bandwagon? Absolutely, I will. I actually reached out to my dad before I was in Las Vegas. I reached out to him to give him a heads up that I want his help making a, see the card? It's pretty, huh? Okay, so that's what that one looks like when it's all done. But I asked him for his help to make a rotisserie tumbler rotary circular rotation device. But the reason, because I haven't made one yet. One, because I don't know if you're still here, Katie, but I was planning on maybe asking you to help me with it too and filming it. But I don't work with wood very often. Although I am making a wood sign with the knife blade for Michelle's wedding. She's actually going to come and do live with me maybe next week. That's really cutting it close because her wedding's next Saturday. But I was hoping she would come and make her cameo debut. She hasn't been on YouTube for a very long time. But we were going to make a sign for her wedding with the knife blade. Thanks, Shayla. Is that how you say your name? Sheila with a GH at the end. That's really cool. Let me know if I said it wrong. The Tumblr app. I know. At first I was like, Tumblr? No, I'm not jumping on Tumblr anytime soon. But no, she meant Tumblr like the tumblers that everyone makes in our Cricut groups and stuff on Facebook are amazing. And I've told you guys I want to do the ceiling videos, but I'm really wanting to nail down like the perfect ceiling video. And then so I asked my dad to help me with the innovation of the rotisserie cup rotary circular thing. What's it called? But the reason I asked him was, one, I might kick myself for it because I'll tell you in a second. One, because he has these crazy inventive ideas that are amazing. Like my dad is made to be an inventor, yet he doesn't ever patent anything that he comes up with. And he always talks about the things that he's invented that other people have come up with. But he always comes to things with like this handmade thing that he made. And it's like when we're moving, he brings, he has like this trailer and he has like this dolly that I'm not even going to say it because then someone's going to steal the idea and then they're going to take his idea and then he's going to get mad. He won't get mad. But he makes these, like, he puts together these things that help him in his patisserie. That's what it's called. And I feel like we're going to rename it for my sake because I want to name it something different because I want it to be different. So I've told him, like, this is what people make already, but I want to make it cooler and I want to have a better setup and I want it to be awesome. And so he's like, I'm already thinking about it. But the thing I was like, I might kick myself is because once they start on a project like this with him, he goes crazy with the ideas. And so he might like come out with something that could like hold 80 cups at once. Because he is very much, I'm very much like him, I'll say, because he's my dad. He was here first. But he comes up with these elaborate ideas and then his brain just starts flowing and then it comes up with bigger and bigger and bigger. And then he thinks like I do, where I'm like, well, what if somebody wanted to sell these tumblers? Let's make like an industrial one and whatever. So I'm hoping that he will come live with us. If not, I think I might have to actually film it because I'm not sure if we could get it down. I don't know. I don't know if we could get it down to under like an hour or so. So my dad is like that too. And he will buy the one that someone makes. So making cups for my business this weekend while I watch. Yay. I'm bad, so I'd rather not. I'm so excited to see what you come up with. Can't wait to get into that myself. Yeah, so people put like fabric, and somebody on the Cricut group, if you're here, let me know, but was doing the fabric ones, and their cups looked very shiny, and they used Mod Podge. So I'm guessing they used a cuptisserie for it because it was so shiny. If you guys don't know what a cuptisserie is, when you seal your tumblers, you stick your tumbler sideways on a rotisserie thing that rotates it while it dries to keep the coat from dripping or anything. And it's like amazingly beautiful. You use epoxy to do it, but she said she used Mod Podge and it was so shiny. So it was like, if you can use Mod Podge for that, that would be awesome. Cause epoxy is really hard because you have to mix it and then you have to do it. Hey, Ken, love the cute shirt. Thank you. I got this at Target to go to Disneyland in. This last trip that we just went on, I shot footage so that we could do tip videos. And so I brought one pair of ears. I didn't even bring ears for the girls. I brought Jillian's ears. They weren't even ears I made. So I brought Jillian's ears because I'm to the point where I'm like, none of the ears I've made I like anymore. So I either need to make new ones or Jillian needs to send me a bunch more so I can take them. But I did not make any ears for this trip. I did not make anything for this trip. I just shot tip videos. So those should be coming soon. Hopefully I got enough shots of it. But guys, I traveled so much this month that I had no time to make any new stuff for Disneyland, even though I was hoping to. Yeah, Ken is home now too. I think, Ken, you've been traveling a lot. I've never made ears. I need to get on that. Yes, Ken, let me know when you guys are going to Disneyland next time because I will definitely schedule a trip and we could do some shirts and ears and all that. So it's like, guys, I want to go big or go home. Like, I didn't want to just throw together some ears. I was like, no, I want to make like some amazing ears. And it's been a while since I've made amazing ears. I made the 50 ideas video and they were like very general. Like I didn't put much time and thought into a lot of them just because I wanted to show you how you could make ears. And then I love seeing how creative you guys get with your ears. But I want to go big. And I'm thinking my birthday in October will be my next trip. And I might go in September to celebrate a little early because the Halloween stuff is still out. I could shoot some Halloween stuff, still get it out to you guys by October and go crazy on the ears. I have some really awesome ideas. I'm heading down again to another trip, lots of travel, but exciting. You're not done traveling. Oh my gosh. So I've lost my voice because I've been literally in the driest area on earth and the smokiest area on earth in the last 3 days. And the Hume San Diego was like constant yelling and screaming because we were doing rec games like the whole time. So I lost my voice already and then it never really fully recovered. I have to sing at church on Sunday. So hopefully it goes better. But although sometimes I like singing when my voice is gone because I have that like raspy voice that you can't really get that unless you're like, you've lost like the girl who won America's Got Talent. I don't remember her name right now. We're heading to Disney World this October and I just got a Cricut. I'm starting now to make shirts and I have to figure out how to make ears. Okay, well, I think I know someone you can watch on YouTube if you're trying to figure out how to make ears. But I've got no-sew, I've got sewing, I've got paper ears, I've got foam ears, I've got so many ears, guys. I'm in Riverside, California. Woo! I am not from San Diego, so I am from Northern California, but we go down to San Diego to visit cousins. And oh gosh, now that I'm done traveling, I can kind of review it all. We went to Puerto Vallarta for a family vacation in June. Then we were back for 5 days to kind of recoup. Then we went camping in Fort Bragg, which is like 3 hours from here, for 2 days. Then we came home. Landis had 1 day to rest, and I sent her off to junior high camp. So I had that week to work. Briley was in theater camp that week. So we put her in theater camp while Landis was away at camp. And I worked like crazy, like a mad woman that week. We launched the mystery box. Did we launch the box that week? I think we launched the box that week. So we launched the box. So I literally had like 5 days to work this month. Then we left and then I went to Hume San Diego with our high school group that I work with. I stayed there. I stayed down there. My family met me down there. And we stayed there for 4 more days. We went to Disneyland for 2 days. Then we stayed with cousins for 2 days and celebrated a 11th birthday and a first birthday. Then we came home and I had 3 days to rest, AKA work. And then I went to Las Vegas, which was probably my least looking forward to trip, but you got to do what you got to do for your friends, you know? And that was where she wanted to go for her bachelorette party. And by the way, I'm not 21 and it's not fun for a 31-year-old in Las Vegas. It would have been fun if we would have done shows and stuff, but we didn't. There were 10 of us, so it was very hard to get everybody to want to do something. And welcome, Miranda. And then I am ready to start homeschooling. I'm ready to be home. I'm ready for I cleaned this in those 3 days of rest. I like reorganized. I went through everything in my craft stuff to get ready for the yard tube sale because the yard tube sale is coming. And that is going to be starting to be put into boxes and ready for that. So yard tube sale will be here soon. Speaking of how stressful your life has been, when is the YouTube sale thing? And are you going to have a mystery box this month? Finally got you live. Okay, so yes, I touched on this in last Tuesday's video. So it might not seem like I was I know you guys know I've been traveling because I've been talking about it, but I've been home on almost all the Tuesdays except one, which I gave you guys our Puerto Vallarta vlog that day. But I touched on it. We are going to be doing the yard tube sale this month. We are not moving offices. I'm so excited. Like, so excited that I'm not moving offices, which is kind of, it was kind of a wake up call for me to appreciate this office for just a little bit longer. Our original thing was we were going to move to another office that had like a bathroom inside and a sink inside and all the amazing things. Didn't work out because they were asking for 10% of anything that happens to the building. And Dustin, thank God, read through like everything. And he was like, so if the roof needs to be replaced, we have to pay 10% of it. And they're like, well, yeah, that's a part of it. And I was like, okay, no. So it was too good to be true. We're not going to that office. However, my goal and my dream is to be able to work from home again. And we want to buy a house that is allowing of that. Obviously, we've had Anna with us for the last year. And before that, I had my nephew living with us. So we've been using any extra space in our house for others, which is fine. I've loved it. I fully enjoyed it. And this office has been a really big blessing. But I'm going to get to the yard tube sale, I promise you. Now the girls have their own rooms because we split them into their own rooms and we have no extra space even without hosting somebody. So I love my home. I love it. And if I was just living out of it, I would love it. But our goal is, since we flipped it, I'm going to do a final home review soon once it's actually done. We're so close to getting it done. Since we technically flipped it, but we've been in it for 2 years, we don't have to pay taxes like we flipped it. So we're going to wait till that 2-year mark. And then we're probably going to wait through the holidays as well, because who wants to sell and buy during the holidays? Not me. I love the holidays. I want to enjoy the holidays. So probably by January, we're going to try to list our house and then buy a home that I can work from. So I just have to bear with this office, and I'm not going to say bear with it anymore. I'm going to realize that it's a huge blessing that I have this office. It's an amazing space that I've been able to do lots of fun things out of. And even though there's a lot of negative things that I've had come from it, not having AC in 110 degree. We've gotten an AC this summer. It was fine. But we're going to be staying here until I can move it all back into my home one day. So with that, I started minimalizing all my craft stuff because I was like, if I have to move all this stuff, I'm not moving all of it. And started thinking about like, okay, how can we move the mystery boxes and things like that so that we can start fresh with the new one and all that stuff. And then we decided we're not going to move the office. So I was like, I still want to do the yard tube sale. I still want to minimalize. I still don't need all this stuff. So we're going to do the yard tube sale. And then, yes, a new mystery box should be, a new Tay box should be launched this month as well. We're working on that. So those two things will definitely happen. And then as for a Cricut mystery box, I'm not sure. It is Tuesday today. So if I get an email and then another live video goes up at 7 tonight, then you'll know that a mystery box came out tonight. But I, for now, have not gotten an email unless I've gotten it and I just didn't realize. But no, I don't think there is one coming out tonight. But I don't know if there's not one coming out in August. Does that make sense? I don't know. What's the best HTV to use for shirts? I noticed the one I ordered on Amazon wrinkled after a few washes. I don't know why it was wrinkling. I don't know what brand you bought, but Cricut's HTV is good and Caesar HTV is amazing. They're both amazing. And whether you buy a Cricut box or my box or Cricut products or possibly something else in the future, you shouldn't have that problem. And as long as you don't leave it in the dryer so it like stays wrinkled like any other clothes, it won't wrinkle. And then you can always turn it right side out and iron it, and it will probably re-glue it down, and then it won't be as wrinkled as well. So I did make my toddler a shirt and it's holding up so well. I don't know if I use Caesar or Cricut brand though. Yeah, so I don't know if it's Cricut brand. It says Cricut on the back of it, and if it's Caesar, it's Caesar. But it might look like some other brands. But if you got it out of my box, it's Caesar. Jessica, it works the same. Don't be scared. Prefer Caesar. Mine has held up really well. I had Cricut HTV wrinkle on me. Yes. So Caesar is great. We love it. And the Easy Press is great. It works well with the Caesar. So I've seen a huge difference in all of my shirt making, all of my iron-on projects since one, using the Easy Press, and two, using Caesar, because it's just, it just works. I love it. I finally used my green funky HTV from the Tay box. Looks great. I want to see what you did with it. So I want to see what you guys have used. The green is hard for me too. I use the green in like accent pieces if I'm doing flowers and stuff like that, which I'm prepping a lot of live videos for you guys soon. And I'm so excited to be able to say this stuff and know that it's not like a month away. I'm actually going to be prepping live videos for you guys, and I'm going to be doing live videos. So my scheduled videos that are like pre-shot and everything are running out soon, and we're going to be doing some lives on Mondays and Wednesdays as well. So there'll be lives Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and then hopefully Thursdays. And the reason I can do that now is because my kids sleep in forever, and now I can do lives in the morning and then start homeschool a little bit later, whereas before I had to get them to school and I had to, go home and get ready and then do whatever. And I was shooting a lot of my videos. So we're going to be doing a lot of lives. So yeah. All right. I don't know if this Tuesday was very helpful to anybody, but I just wanted to get on here and hang out and prove to myself that I can not give up, because I was literally not going to go live today. I was just like, I know you guys wanted Tearful Tuesday, but you guys do not need Blubbering Idiot Tuesday. Like, I just needed a good cry today, and I got that. And it always feels so much better once you just let it all out. And I knew that if I didn't and I went live, I would probably be crying the whole time, and that's not fun. So how do I buy your mystery box? I'm new and I would love to buy one. Also, how much are they? The one that is out right now is the back to school box. It's $39.99, and it's on shopify.com/ Shopify Auntie Sorry, I got a text message, so I was reading it. Shopify.com / Auntie, or on my blog, you can go under shop and it'll take you there. Yes, your moment of transparency was enough for me. This video was a win. Thanks, frogs. Yeah. And like, honestly, like, I'm like, okay, if I cry a little bit on a Tuesday, it's not that big of a deal. But it was just like, I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired. I've had so many emotional things happening. Obviously, Deanna's story last week was so emotional. So I was like, I do not want to go live and just cry the whole time and talk about like whatever we're going to talk about. It's to the point where I was just like so exhausted that everything was making me cry. And I don't like that. Like literally, you know, how you get so to the point where you're just like, obviously my body needs to let a good cry out. And I don't know. It was just that. So literally, I don't know if you guys can see, but like I had a little bit of makeup on, my hair's not done. And I was like, you know what? People were making fun of my hair a couple months ago or a month ago in a live video. I was like, watch this. I'm going to go and have leftover. I mean, it's not like horrible, but it's leftover. Like I was like, this side kind of is curled. This side's not, but it's okay. I just got my MacBook Pro with Touch Bar for school and graphic design journey. In your experience, what equipment is helpful in doing graphics and Adobe Cloud? So, you've got the best laptop you can have. So you're already there. Adobe Suite. So download that. I would learn, it depends what graphics you want to do, but I would definitely learn InDesign, Illustrator, those first, and then Photoshop. Photoshop, yes, Photoshop for sure. Photoshop is great to have skills in no matter what, but I use InDesign and Illustrator far more than anything, and they're less known to people. A lot of people know Photoshop. So if you have a skill that a lot of people don't have, then your need is so much higher. And so, you know, you're going to get paid more because you have skills that other people don't have. Learn Illustrator. Illustrator is amazing. Learn InDesign. InDesign is also amazing. And the way Adobe is designed is so that you have to learn it. Like you have to learn it. People are ridiculous. I don't know what people are. Oh yeah, about my hair. Yeah, I don't care. Who cares? Whatever. Girls, ladies, men, whoever's here. I have been like, guys, if my hair looked like this in high school, I would have been like, I am good. I look amazing because I have really hard hair. Like I am appreciative of my hair because I can do anything with it. But I was born in a time when straighteners and curling irons were okay, but straighteners were not a thing. And YouTube tutorials were not a thing either. So like I had no guidance. My mom has crazy hair too. So she was just like in survival mode with me. So we're like, yeah, we look great. And so I'm like, guys, you don't even know what crazy hair is. So make fun of my hair all you want. I'm like, okay, because you obviously haven't seen me after whatever. I know I do a pretty good job of maintaining my hair now. So you're not alone. I cry just about every day. Get it out and keep on going for me. Oh, yeah, it's not to the point where I cry every day, but there are days where I'm just like, I just gotta let it out. I just have to. Been there, Tay. We all have those days. God stores those tears up for blessings later. You got this. That is so true. It is very, very true that, because we go through this kind of stuff, we're able to be there for other people. And it was just crazy how last Tuesday, like, God made me a rock for Deanna, and I was just like, if we were to have done that video today, I'd just be like crying the whole time. I'd be like, I know, I can't do this, So you had that nice MacBook Pro, but I pressed on the screen and I messed it up. So be careful with it. Yeah, be careful with your laptops, guys. My laptop is this is where everything is. Which do you use more, InDesign or Illustrator? So it depends what you're doing. Personally, I use Illustrator more because now I make a lot of SVGs where I used to design brochures and memorial brochures and magazine pages and stuff like that. And InDesign is my favorite. So I actually got my graphic design degree because I was doing an independent magazine on my own, using graphic design skills that I taught myself. And I was like, you know what? I've got to go to school. I've got to learn this. And so I enrolled back into college and started doing InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator. And then I had to do all the art classes too, which I learned a lot from those too. So I had to do like color theory and I don't remember all the other art classes that are included in the degree, but InDesign, Illustrator, and Photoshop, I use those skills the most, and I could probably use those and be an independent designer and make a lot of money doing that. But my whole thing was I enrolled into the magazine class of the college so that I could learn how to design magazines and everything about magazines. And I wanted to keep my magazine going. And then my YouTube channel was in the process of all of that. And I learned that I love YouTube in the midst of that. And I do see a magazine in the future again, but like a crafting magazine that goes alongside my YouTube channel. And it's funny because the way I was doing my magazine before took me forever. And now, since I know InDesign, I could probably put a magazine together in a day. Like if I sat down and put together a full magazine, I could probably do it in a day because InDesign and I are best friends. I love InDesign. It's my love language. Like I love InDesign. So do you get it? I love InDesign. Yes, SVG's magazine. Yeah, so I don't know what it would look like. It would definitely be something that we could give to the patrons for free. And then, yeah, so I was using MagCloud. So I fell into this magazine world. I fall into a lot of this stuff and whatever, but it was a fun adventure. So at the time I was doing photography and I had all these amazing photos and I was like, I want to do something with them. I want to publish them in a book. And I found MagCloud, which anybody can make a magazine. They're very expensive to actually purchase the actual magazine though. They're like $30 to get the actual magazine. And then they're like however much you want to sell them digitally. So you could give them away free or you could sell them for a couple of bucks or whatever. So I was like, this is cool. I want to make a magazine. And so I just started making a magazine just for fun. And then it turned into something really big. I had, photography contests and all these things, and it was cool, but I wanted content in it. And now I have like this YouTube channel that it's nothing but crafting content. So I'm like, a magazine would be awesome. But that would be a lot of work. And so that's one of the reasons why I was thinking of and this is why I don't want to push my kids to do anything, but I was really hoping one of them would love InDesign as much as me and we could work on the magazine together. And then I could teach you guys how I teach kids how to use it and stuff like that. So back to training. Bye, Alicia. Thanks, Jessica. Yeah. And I don't know if it would be an SVG magazine. It would definitely be like, I thought about summing up like all of my videos into a magazine and then just adding on to the magazine and just making it one big Auntie magazine book. And then, you know, each year add more to it and stuff like that. Because alongside my videos, I have all these photos I've taken of all of these projects and have done nothing with them. So yeah. So I think it would be fun, but yeah, I don't know. So that's where I'm at today. We talked about a lot. We talked about Africa. We talked about using pens, which was not successful, and all that good stuff. So I've got to go make 16 of these cards. Probably going to go have my kids help me finish them because they're good at that kind of stuff and they like doing that stuff. But good afternoon, Bill. Yeah, so I'm going to get going. I love you guys. I will be here. Let's see. We have a video scheduled for tomorrow, but pretty soon, so you guys know not to miss me, I will be live at this time on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And if I'm not live, there'll be an actual video scheduled for that day, whether it be a takeover or a actual video I shot. I'm not drinking coffee today. I'm drinking LaCroix because I'm sticking to keto. And I know I could have gone. I think I'm going to go get the coffee that Deanna had last week because I do want coffee. But I don't. I'm doing keto. I did a full day of keto yesterday, and I'm so excited because I was so close to not doing it because we did. Yeah, Katie's doing keto too. We did not have groceries like at all. And Dustin was like, I will go grocery shopping for us. And he got stuck in meetings all day. And so I was like, we have salami and cheese. So I'm going to eat some salami and cheese. And then I held out and I ate a salad for dinner and I was so good. But then he did go grocery shopping. So we have so much keto stuff. I hard boiled eggs. I was like so good yesterday. And it's probably why I'm so exhausted today because like I was in denial that I needed to rest. So I was like prepping and doing stuff as much as I could without groceries. And then I was like, if I go through that Starbucks drive-through right now, I am going to be dead and I'm going to get a good sugary drink. And I cannot do that right now. So I grabbed my LaCroix and I grabbed my Mio electrolytes and spit them inside of it to give it a little bit more flavor. Plus, when you're doing keto, you want to replenish your electrolytes as much as you can. So they recommend the Mio. So you do keto too. And I love this diet. Like, and I'm not even going to call it a diet. I'm calling it a lifestyle change because you're supposed to do this for your health as well. And I don't know how I'll feel on it. I've stuck to keto at max like a week because I've been traveling so much this year. And I don't travel till September. So my goal is to really hone into my favorite recipes. What I'm making tonight is pesto chicken, tomato chicken. All you do is you take chicken breasts and lay them out in a casserole dish, smother them in pesto sauce, mozzarella cheese, and a tomato, and then you bake them. So easy, so good. And then I'm going to make extra of that. So tomorrow I can cut it up and use it in low-carb quesadillas. So what I also do to make sure that the kids are getting carbs is I'll do something with like the low-carb quesadilla, the tortillas that Mission has. I will do quesadillas with those, and then I'll use regular quesadillas for the kids. Make sure that they get their ample amount of calories and carbs because they need that. They're growing. So that's what I'm making tonight. I was supposed to make it last night, but I'm making it tonight, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm going to eat that, and I'm going to eat so much of it. And I'm so excited. The thing I love about keto is you don't want to deprive yourself of calories. You want to eat because you end up getting not hungry. After a while, you're like, I'm not that hungry. I don't really need to eat. I don't want to eat. So you have to give yourself calories and good fats and stuff. So you can be like, I'm going to eat this whole avocado on my case. I should probably try to cut some of the dairy out because I've done a fast before where when I cut dairy out, I dropped weight so fast. So I don't know if my body doesn't like it, but it definitely loses weight when I cut it out. But I'm not just trying to lose weight. I'm trying to learn to cook. I know how to cook, but I want to learn to like love cooking. And I know that if I love what I'm cooking and I can lose weight doing it and it's delicious and all that stuff, I'm going to learn. I want to learn it. So I'm changing over. I'm doing that. Yeah. So good fats. So yes. And there are people who do keto and they eat a lot of bad fats and it still works, but I'm not about that life. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like shoving butter down my face every second, which I love butter. But so I also learned this with calorie counting. So I've always calorie counted, always. And I have put on 10 pounds every year for the last 5 years. Like the last 3 years, ever since I went back to school, I started putting 10 pounds on. So every time I would want to lose weight, I would calorie restrict, which works. It works fine. But the more you calorie restrict, the more your body starts to adjust to eating those calories. So like when somebody eats all this food and then they cut soda out only and then they start losing weight, it works because they're cutting something out that their body's used to having, and then it's a deficiency for them. Whereas I don't drink caloric sodas anymore. I don't eat a ton of food. I don't eat that much anymore. And people say like, oh, you're just getting older. But realistically, I've been calorie deficient for 10 years. And when I was 21, that worked fine because my body was used to eating like a teenager and cookies and soda and all this stuff. And then of course, when I went calorie deficient, obviously I lost weight. Now, the last 10 years, I have always consciously tried to never eat over 2,000 calories a day. Never. And in weight loss mode, I try to eat 1,200 calories a day, which I used to be able to drop weight fast doing that. And now I can't drop weight doing that very fast. I would, but I'd probably lose like a pound every month because it's just like my body's like, we're used to this. And I'm like, I have nothing else I can cut out. I've done 6 straight months of no sweets, like no sweets at all. I did not cut out bread, but I cut out sweets. And so it's like, okay, I've done like cutting out the thing, like just add one thing to your life, like cut that out and it'll be good. Coffee is one of them for me. The caramel macchiatos is one that I know that if I cut those out, I'll make a big difference. Those are only 180 calories. So when I'm calorie counting, they're fine. However, with keto, they throw it off completely because you don't want to eat sugar when you're on keto. You got to keep your electrolytes up, but you don't want to eat sugar at all. So I know sugar is like everywhere. And so when I cut out sweets, I could still eat fruit and things like that. With keto, you don't eat fruit and you can have 0 net carb things. So some things that have carbs in them, if they have a lot of fiber, they don't have a lot of net carbs. So I love sugar too. And I'm a sugar addict and, I'm no longer a sugar addict, I would say, because I've fasted sugar before and I would probably still be a sugar addict, but I used to be able to scarf like a whole plate of cookies and not have one, like not bat an eye at it. And I'd still be able to lose weight. It was crazy. But anyways, I could eat a whole plate of cookies and I loved it. I was addicted to it. I would eat like a candy bar for lunch because I'd be like, I'd rather have a Snickers than go get like food. I'm a sugar addict. My whole side, this side of my family is sugar addicts. And this side of my family is diabetics, like extreme diabetics. I'm not even joking. Like leg amputee, blindness, death, diabetics, all of them. And so if we do not manage our weight, if we do not manage our nutrition, we end up dying from diabetes. It's just how it's happened. Everybody who has passed away in my family that is a little bit older has died from diabetes. So I'm like, this is a big deal. Like, I can't just act like this is nothing. So fasting sugar has been a big thing for me to do. Now that I've done it a few times in my life, my longest stretch was 6 months. I was like, I'm giving up sugar for life. I'm never going to eat sugar again. I was like gung-ho on it. I was like, I'm a sugar addict. And the only way to do it is cold turkey. Never eat it again. Not sugar, but sweets. Because fruits and stuff like that act differently in your body. However, now when I eat a cookie, my blood sugar spikes and I can feel it instantly. I get like, it's almost like it's the sugar rush. I can feel it. So I can't eat 2 cookies in a row. I can only eat 1 cookie in a row. If I give it like 30 minutes, I could probably eat another one. but I can't scarf a whole plate of cookies anymore. It makes me feel disgusting and really like foggy brained and weird. So that was my thing where I was like, cool, because I don't want to eat like that. As much as my heart says eat it, my body has to say, like, my body has to tell me, no, this is not good for you. Watch Dr. Berg here on YouTube. I will definitely check him out. Keto will help you so much. Energy, brain fog, overall health. Oh yeah, I should try it. No sugar. Yeah. So with keto, it's no bread, no grains, no carbs. So there's carbs in so much stuff, not just sweets. So it's like, okay, now I'm stepping it up, but I'm actually throwing my body into a different scientific mode now. And you don't want a calorie cut because you want your body to have fuel because it's not getting any sugar. So you want to keep, all that stuff. Veggies have carbs. Some veggies have carbs. No, veggies don't have carbs. And strict keto, there are certain veggies you're not supposed to cut out, but I'm making a lifestyle change and I'm not going to cut out veggies for the rest of my life. So yeah, obviously corn is not keto. But corn is very in everything. Like we're not lacking in eating corn at all in this world. Our meat is corn fed. Our veggies are like everything has corn. Everything has corn in it. There's not one thing on earth unless it's 100% organic that in America, I'll say in America, that doesn't have corn in it because it's somehow processed through corn, and I'm not lacking in corn. Get it? I'm not missing my corn. That's why you need to remove all the other carbs. How long do you cook your chicken, and do you cook it raw or frozen? So it's raw. I actually need to take it out of the freezer right now so I can defrost it. But I like it usually thawed first, and then I'll bake it for, I don't remember how long I bake it for, until it's usually about 30 minutes. I don't know, until it's not raw on the inside or until it looks delicious and tastes good. Yeah, bananas are like sugar sticks. Yes, bananas are fruit, and fruit are no on keto, most of them. Like cucumbers are fruit too, but cucumbers don't have carbs. So cucumbers are good for you on keto. So it's not like you're cutting all fruit out. You're just cutting out the very high sugary fruits out. And honestly, I don't know. I'll report back how I feel, but I use a meat thermometer, 165 or above, usually by 170. So it's not dry. I'll find you the name. Yeah, I'd love to see it. So there's another doctor that talks about keto for women. That's who you're finding. Got it. Dr. Mike on YouTube is great. He talks about keto. Oh, and then there's Keto Connect, I think, with a K. Connect with a K. And I'm not sure if they're from Northern California, but he was wearing a King's shirt. And nobody supports the Kings unless you're either from SAC or you were from SAC. So I was like, okay, maybe they're from Northern California. But they're YouTuber couple, and they make tons of keto cool stuff. And they're really awesome. So check them out if you're interested in keto. I want to get in connected with them, though, if they're local. I want them to, like, come to my house and cook and help me and make things for me and show me the fat bombs, because like I see all these delicious, oh guys, and I'm going to try this tonight. I got to go get the stuff for it. We make this stuff called chocolate molten cake. It's a remake of the cake that the Carnival Cruise Line delivers, that they give you. And it's so delicious, but all it has in it is like cocoa bar, which is like bitter chocolate, really bitter chocolate. And then you use separated eggs. I have to find the recipe somewhere, but you separate the eggs and you froth up the egg yolks and then the egg whites, and you connect, I don't know. It's really like 4 ingredients, but it's so good. So you fluff the eggs. So they start out like, 4 eggs or whatever. And then by the time they're fluffed for like 10 minutes straight, they're huge. It's like a mousse. And then you add the cocoa, you mix the cocoa with butter. So we haven't left keto yet. And then I think you use a tablespoon of sugar. So then we would use stevia or all the other keto stuff. And I made a keto thing on my Amazon store, and I'm going to be adding more stuff to there because I'm going to be trying stuff from Amazon too. And then you pour it into ramekins and you bake them for like not even 10 minutes. Like you keep them kind of like gooey and ooey, and then you eat them. And so I was thinking about that dessert, which I haven't made in so long. And I was like, I'm pretty sure the only sugar you use in that is sugar. So, go figure. Is like a teaspoon of sugar. So you could really use, I know people are against Splenda, but I have a whole bag of it and I need to use it. But you'd only need to use like a tiny bit of it because it's like concentrated. So Swerve, yes, Swerve and Truvia. So you would use a tablespoon of Swerve. And then it's the most amazing. I will do a video on it if it turns out. So I tried this bread in a mug yesterday. I should have posted a picture, Katie, to our group. But I tried this bread and it was awful. So that's the one thing that I'm like, it's so hard because I'm trying out these recipes, and if they turn out awful, then I'm like, I just wasted a bunch of food making this really gross stuff. Use monk fruit. I've never tried that. I'm going to check Dr. Berg. Yeah, so try all those. I'm so over my lunch hour, but you're worth it. All right, Linda, I'm going to let you go because I need to get going too. I have stuff to do today too. We got to go pick out curriculum. So we'll probably do a live video showing you what curriculum we're going through and all that stuff. We're going to be doing so much stuff for homeschool with you guys, and cooking is going to be part of it too. All right, I love you guys. I will talk to you guys probably Thursday or maybe tonight. I don't know. If there's a mystery box that shows up at my door, I'll go live tonight. All right. I love you guys. Bye.